Everyone talks about motivation like it's the secret weapon. Wake up inspired, stay hungry, grind harder, hustle longer. But if you've ever tried building a business, you already know the truth. Motivation disappears. Some mornings you wake up feeling unstoppable. Ideas are flowing. You're ready to conquer everything. You answer emails fast, make difficult decisions without hesitation, and suddenly, it feels like maybe this is finally your breakthrough season. Then the next day, you can barely open your laptop. The same business that excited you yesterday suddenly feels heavy. The tasks feel endless. Your confidence disappears for no reason you can explain. And deep down, you start wondering, maybe I'm not built for this. That's the part nobody talks about. The truth is, most entrepreneurs are not failing because they're lazy. They're failing because they built their business on emotions instead of systems. And the most successful entrepreneurs in the world figured this out early. There's one habit they rely on more than motivation, more than inspiration, and honestly, more than talent. It's the habit that keeps them moving even when they're tired, stressed, doubting themselves, or completely uninspired. And once you understand it, your business and your life start to feel a lot less chaotic, because success stops becoming something you feel and starts becoming something you repeat. Let's be honest for a second. Being an entrepreneur is emotionally exhausting. People see the success stories online, the fancy offices, the revenue screenshots, the freedom, the travel, the I made it moments. But they don't see the nights where you stare at the ceiling wondering if your business is slowly dying. They don't see the anxiety before checking your bank account. They don't see the fear of putting your work out there and hearing nothing back. And because of that pressure, most entrepreneurs become addicted to motivation. They wait to feel ready before they take action. You know what that looks like. You tell yourself, I'll start when I feel more confident. I'll post content when I'm inspired. I'll work harder next week. I just need to get my motivation back. But motivation is unpredictable. It's emotional weather. One day it's sunny. Next day it's a storm. And if your business depends on your mood, your business will always feel unstable. That's why so many entrepreneurs live in cycles: a burst of energy, then burnout, a week of obsession, then 3 weeks of procrastination. You sprint, you crash, you recover, then repeat the same cycle all over again. And after a while, it becomes dangerous. Not just for your business, for your confidence. Because every time you promise yourself, you'll do something, and don't follow through, you slowly stop trusting yourself. That's the real damage, not the missed opportunity, the broken relationship with yourself. Most people think inconsistency only affects productivity. It doesn't. It affects identity. When your actions depend on how you feel, your brain starts learning a terrible lesson. Action is optional. And once that happens, everything becomes harder. Simple tasks feel mentally heavy. Small decisions drain your energy. Even starting becomes exhausting. You wake up every morning negotiating with yourself. What should I work on? Do I have enough energy? Maybe I'll do it later. Maybe I should rest first. And before you know it, half the day is gone. Not because you were working, because you were fighting yourself. That internal battle is invisible, but it destroys momentum. And then comes the worst part, the hustle and crash cycle. This is where entrepreneurs confuse self-destruction with ambition. You get inspired, so you work 14 hours a day for a week straight. You skip sleep, ignore your health, stop talking to people, live on caffeine and stress. You call it grinding. But eventually your body collects the debt. And suddenly you can't focus anymore. You feel numb, disconnected, exhausted. The business starts feeling like a prison instead of a dream. So you disappear for a while, try to recover, wait for motivation to come back. Then the cycle repeats. That's not sustainable success. That's emotional gambling. And the scary part is, most entrepreneurs stay trapped there for years because they think the answer is more motivation. More podcasts, more seminars, more hype, more dopamine. But motivation was never the solution. The real solution is something far less exciting and far more powerful. The best entrepreneurs in the world do not rely on motivation. They rely on systems. That's the difference. Not talent, not luck, not personality. Systems. Simple routines and structures that keep them moving whether they feel inspired or not. Because successful people understand something most people never realize. Feelings are unreliable. Systems are dependable. A motivated person works when they feel good. A systems-driven person works because it's scheduled. That's a completely different mindset. Motivation asks, what do I feel like doing today? A system asks, what did I already commit to doing? And honestly, that single shift changes everything. Because now your progress no longer depends on your emotions. You stop waking up asking, do I feel motivated? And start asking, what's the next step? That's why the most successful entrepreneurs seem calm under pressure. It's not because they never feel doubt. They absolutely do. But they built routines strong enough to carry them through those emotional lows. They made consistency automatic. And once consistency becomes automatic, success stops feeling random. So how do you actually build a system when your life already feels messy? You start small, not dramatic, not perfect, just repeatable. Step 1. Create a simple morning routine. Most people wake up and immediately consume notifications, emails, social media, bad news, other people's problems. And before their brain even wakes up properly, they're already reacting. Successful entrepreneurs protect their mornings differently, not because they're obsessed with productivity, because they understand focus is fragile. A simple morning routine changes everything. Drink water, move your body, sit quietly for 5 minutes. Write down your priorities. That's enough. You don't need a perfect 4 a.m. billionaire routine. You just need a morning that belongs to you before it belongs to the world. Step 2. Focus on one daily win. Most people overwhelm themselves with giant to-do lists. Then they end the day feeling busy, but not fulfilled. Instead, ask yourself one question every morning. What's the one thing that would make today feel productive? Not 10 things. 1. Maybe it's writing the sales page. Maybe it's making 5 calls. Maybe it's finally publishing the content you've been avoiding. That's your daily win. And when you complete it early, something powerful happens psychologically. Even if the rest of the day becomes chaotic, you still feel momentum. You still feel progress. And progress builds confidence faster than motivation ever will. Step 3. Make your habits too small to fail. This part is important. Most entrepreneurs fail because they try to change everything overnight. That's ego talking. Real growth is usually boring. If you want consistency, lower the bar. Seriously. Want to start writing? Write 1 paragraph. Want to work out? Do 5 push-ups? Want to build content? Post 1 short video. The goal at first is not massive results. The goal is proving to yourself, I'm someone who shows up. Because once showing up becomes part of your identity, growth becomes sustainable. Tiny actions repeated daily will always beat giant bursts of motivation. Always. Step 4. Track your progress visually. Human beings need visible proof. That's why tracking works. Use a calendar, a notebook, a whiteboard, anything. Every day you complete your habit, mark it down. That small visual reminder matters more than people realize. Because on difficult days, your emotions will lie to you. They'll tell you, you're not making progress. But your tracker tells the truth. It reminds you, no, you've been showing up. And sometimes that reminder is exactly what keeps you going. Step 5. Build systems inside your business. Eventually, this mindset expands beyond your personal habits. You start building systems for your business too. You document tasks, create checklists, automate repetitive work, delegate processes, and slowly, your business stops depending entirely on your energy. That's the real goal. Not building a business that burns you out. Building one that can grow without consuming your life. Because freedom is not making more money. Freedom is building something that doesn't collapse every time you get tired. The world glorifies motivation because it sounds exciting. But motivation is temporary. It comes and goes like waves. Systems are what stay. The entrepreneurs who build lasting success are not superhuman. They just stopped relying on emotions to decide whether they would take action. They built routines, protected focus, simplified habits, tracked progress, and repeated small actions long enough for momentum to change their lives. That's the real secret, not intensity. Consistency. And honestly, that should encourage you. Because it means you don't need to become a different person overnight. You don't need endless motivation. You don't need perfect discipline. You don't need to feel ready. You just need one small system you can repeat tomorrow, and then the next day, and the next. Because success is rarely built in one explosive moment. It's built quietly, in ordinary mornings, in repeated habits, in small promises you keep to yourself. That's where real transformation begins. If this video connected with you, let me know in the comments. What's one small system you're going to start this week? Not a huge life overhaul, just one repeatable action. And if you want more videos about discipline, systems, business growth, and building a life that doesn't rely on motivation alone, subscribe to the channel. Because the goal isn't to feel inspired for one day. The goal is to build a system that keeps working even on the days you don't.